Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We know that the window for the transfer portal is rapidly closing, but there are still some guys out there. We'll see if there's any movement over the next couple of days. We'll see how things wrap up by the end of the week. But yesterday made a video talking about a portal target. Sam Pendleton from Notre Dame. Austin Price put on the general's quarter, says this is somebody that I could see Tennessee going after when he entered his name into the portal. Well, things are moving pretty quick because they put out an update last night while we were live on the charity stream. Austin Price put out an update and said Tennessee is scheduled to host Notre Dame offensive line transfer Sam Pendleton. Now, again, we talked about him yesterday, 6'4", 310-pound interior offensive lineman coming out of high school. He was a consensus 4-star recruit. What does that mean? It means they took 247 Sports, they took On3, and they took Rivals.com. They combined those rankings, and that made Sam Pendleton a 4-star consensus player coming out of high school, ranked 387th overall. He was the 25th best offensive lineman in his class. I love the quote yesterday from his offensive coordinator. Says he's got the type of toughness and lead by example, physicality, kind of that aura that you want surrounding your offensive line. I think Pendleton embodies that very well. He kind of helps bring that to the other guys on the line, if you will, along with those other two guys that are out there playing on the inside. Now, I always like to go look at what the other fan base has to say when a guy enters the portal, and I saw some Notre Dame fans that weren't too happy about him packing up and leaving. So we'll see what happens here. He only played in 2 games as a freshman in 2023. So with that red shirt, he's got 3 years of eligibility. And what I like about that, he's actually played a lot of football, but he still has 3 years of eligibility that'll be able to give Tennessee. Played in 13 games this past season in 2024, started 7 of those games before he ultimately lost out the job to a couple of veterans. He wasn't expected to beat out those veterans early in the year, but they had a lot of shuffling on the offensive line due to injuries. He ended up winning that job and starting, but after some movement, he ended up on the bench, but again, still got in the games, played a lot of games, again, played 13 games, started in those first 7. But experience, man, he's got experience, 3 years left, a lot of football to play. And when we look at the interior offensive line, what we've added in the portal, it's the same for Wendell Moore Jr. Started 27 games for Arizona. We needed to add guys on the interior of the offensive line. In fact, that was pretty much the first position group we would talk about when we were asking, where do we need to improve this roster? I've talked about it a lot on the live streams recently. I think if this offense, everybody's talking about motion, everybody's talking about creativity, everybody's talking about Nico and the wide receivers. I think this offense, I think it starts with the offensive line. If you're better in pass protection, you're going to set Nico up. I think Nico can thrive if you can keep him clean and let plays develop, and that's what we did. We went and added 2 guys with experience, 2 guys that still have some eligibility left on the interior of that offensive line. And oh, by the way, you guys are saying, Boogie, why are you saying we've added? He's taking a visit. He's not added yet. Well, spoiler alert, Pendleton is all but done. AP Austin Price over at VolQuest rolled out the 50-cent gift last night. If you know, but you might as well go ahead and book it here. Pete Nakos had reported when Pendleton entered the portal that he went in with a no contact tag, which means don't call me, I'll call you. He basically knows where he's going when he enters that portal. And then he sets up the visit to Tennessee, and then Austin Price all but confirms it last night. So I think this is probably going to move pretty quickly here. So how would you feel about the offensive line now going into 2025? You've got 2 5-star offensive tackles on the outside with Lance Hurd and with David Sanders. And I get it. Lance Hurd needs to continue to improve. I think people forget that Lance Hurd is young. Lance Hurd was beat up. Lance Hurd was out of shape when he arrived in Knoxville. I felt like he got better as the year went on, but he still has to be even better. I love what Coach Jay said last night, man. If you missed the charity stream, go back and give it a watch. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But Coach Jay said his X factor, his key for 2025 was growth. And if you go back to 2021 and you look at Jalen Hyatt, and you compare that player to what Jalen Hyatt was in 2022, it's like 2 completely different players. So why can't Lance Hurd be that guy? Why can't some of these guys like maybe Chris Brazzell or Mike Matthews or Braylon Staley, why can't we see these guys take that step? And I think Lance Hurd can do that. But then you've got David Sanders, a 5-star offensive tackle, looking to come in and start as a true freshman as well. But then you move across the offensive line. We'll see what happens with Andrej Karic. We'll see if he gets that extra year of eligibility. The year that He's questioning. He played in 5 games, and in that game, I think he played 3 snaps, 4 snaps, something like that. So he's looking to get that extra year of eligibility. We'll see what happens there. You added Wendell Moore Jr. You're about to add Sam Pendleton. That's more experience on the inside. Coach Jay in a previous stream talked about your depth guys, right? You were rotating in Dane Davis, a former walk-on. You were rotating in Jackson Lampley this past year. How do the young guys develop that would maybe be in those rotational roles in 2025? A guy like Shamrod Umarov, a guy like William Satterwhite at center, Larry Johnson, Max Anderson, Bennett Warren, Jesse Perry. A lot of those guys this staff was pretty high on as they recruited the class of 2025. But it looks like Sam Pendleton is going to be visiting Tennessee today. I look for that to move quickly. We will keep you up to date on that. We can move into high school recruiting class of 2026. Before we do that, I need you guys to do me a favor and smash that thumbs up just below this video. Quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you are watching this video. We are fans. For the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. The charity stream last night, it was for Fisher House Foundation. It was Ronald McDonald House for the men and women of our troops. We raised almost $5,600 on that stream. Thanks to you guys. Every donation counts. Every donation matters. That stream is still open. If you missed it, go back and give it a watch. If you don't want to watch, but you want to contribute, just go open up the stream. If you slide down to the bottom, there's a donate tab. It looks like a little heart, two hands shaking and a little heart. If you click on that, you can donate. It goes directly to the charity. I don't get a cut. YouTube doesn't take a cut. They don't take taxes out. All of it goes directly to the charity. So you guys can still continue to give with that for the next week or so. And then also just a quick scheduling note, Tuesdays are moving to Sundays. So this coming Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, we'll play EA Sports College Football and talk all things Tennessee football. I think that makes sense with scheduling and basketball and things going out throughout the course of the week. I think during the offseason for now, we'll move it to Sunday night. So come hang out Sunday night. We'll have a good time as we always do. But let's look over and let's jump into the class of 2026. Let's talk a little recruiting. You can see the tweet there on the screen from On3 Recruits. Braden Rouse, On3 Steve Wiltfong, has logged an expert prediction for Tennessee to land the 2026 four-star linebacker Braden Rouse. You can go look at his profile. 4-star prospect, ranked inside the on 300, ranked 275th overall, 6'3", 205 pounds, out of Marietta, Georgia. He's a guy we've talked really a lot about here recently. Coach Jay, very high on Braden Rouse. I said, Coach, go grab some players for the live stream. We'll just talk about some recruiting. And Braden Rouse was one of the first names out of his mouth. Says he feels like he could be an elite linebacker for Tennessee in this class. Really solid against the pass game. Again, this is from Coach Jay. Said he's really solid against the pass game. 6'3", rangy kid. He's ranked, again, inside the on 300, but Coach Jay still feels like he could be an underrated linebacker in this class. And, last night on the charity stream again, Jason Swain, former Vol wide receiver, was in the house, and he was talking about Ohio State and how they nail their evaluations, and that's what sets them apart from everybody else. He said when they go get a 5-star, it's a 5-star. When they take a 3-star, that 3-star develops. And he talked about how important it was for this coaching staff to nail their evaluations. So do we see Braden Rouse kind of skyrocket? Does his recruitment go up? Does he turn into a player? You got to nail your evaluations. You got to evaluate talent. Matt Ray put out an update because Braden was in town for Junior Day this past weekend. He said 4-star linebacker Braden Rouse was back in town again, continues to really hit it off at Tennessee. It's clear the Vols are one of the teams at the top right now. Says Georgia and Alabama are both getting involved. He plans to take a look at them as well. He has built a strong bond with William Inge, Josh Heupel, and Tim Banks. They're doing a really nice job reminding him he is a priority. Football fit was an important topic today, and Tennessee answered a lot of his questions. Here's a quote from Rouse himself. Says they are a potential good fit because I have a good relationship with the whole staff. Says the coaches, the people, they are all committed to the team. He's going to take visits this spring, and then he's going to set up his official visits over the summer before making a decision. But Steve Wiltfong putting Tennessee way out front here with the expert prediction. Now, that's not a spoiler alert. We're not around the corner from a decision. That is Steve Wiltfong just putting what I would call a true prediction to Tennessee. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts on adding Pendleton for the interior of the offensive line? Braden Rouse is a prospect. This coaching staff done a pretty good job lately recruiting linebackers, upgrading this roster. I love some of the conversations last night, man. There is nothing wrong with being disappointed with the way this season ended. but also being able to realize where we were at, but we want to strive for SEC championships and national championships. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also help this channel by hitting that join button right down below. It's just $1 per month. You keep the lights on around here, particularly throughout the course of the offseason when we're not doing post-game shows and 5-6 live streams a week. Your support means the world to me, and I'm grateful for that. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.